YouTube, this is the hard bitch. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry. Um, I was having a flashback to a classic old school hard bastard video. This is still Aunt BB, and welcome to Aunt BB's Romper Room. So that was the theme to Captain Kangaroo. And if you watched my video from Monday, June 18th, I sang a little bit of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and then I showed disrespect for Mr. Rogers because I thought Mr. Rogers was pretty boring for kids. And when I was a kid, I was I guess a late boomer, so I watched Captain Kangaroo, and the early boomers, my siblings, they watched Howdy Doody. And here's a little bit of trivia. Captain Kangaroo here, Bob Keesham, he played Clarabelle the Clown on Howdy Doody. Anyway, welcome to Aunt BB's Romper Room. Today is Tuesday, June 26th, and we're going to have some fun today. First of all, we're going to play a game, and the game is called Who Did It Better? So you can vote in the comment section. So who did it better? Dr. Satan, also known as Sticks, Hex, and Hammer 666, or South Park Jesus. Okay, there's South Park Jesus. So South Park Jesus or Dr. Satan, who did it better? Okay, here's another one. Here's another who did it better. So who did it better? HA Goodman or Dr. Evil? Okay, it's a tough one. Who did it better, Dr. Evil or H.A. Goodman? Okay, so vote in the comment section. Anyway, today we're going to have some fun with a couple of hard bastards buddies. Dr. Satan here, Sticks, Hex, and Hammer 666. And breaking news, H.A. Goodman. Yep. So they are buddies of hard bastards, and all three of them jumped on the Trump train. And H.A. is the most recent member to jump on that Trump train. So we're going to compare H.A.'s sudden conversion to Trump, supporting Trump, to another guy who's on the right, Glenn Beck. So let's just have a listen here to what Dr. Satan has to say.
Evangelo Con loser Glenn Beck is continuing to be a loser. Now, he's had problems for some time. He was riding high there, you'll remember, years and years ago. During the...
Okay, that's Glenn Beck. Now, H.A. Goodman, he used to be riding high. Yeah, H.A. Goodman, he used to be part of mainstream media, just like Glenn Beck. Yeah, so H.A. Goodman used to be on MSNBC and CNN. He was very proud of that. And there he was on MSNBC with Lawrence O'Donnell. Yeah, there's H.A. He used to be riding high, and he was published in mainstream media. Look at that. Yeah, Huffington Post, Real Clear Politics, Salon, The Hill, Jerusalem Post, Times of Israel. Yeah, so let's listen some more.
George Soros is everything evil, period. Glenn Beck was riding high, but eventually, after a couple years at Fox, having had one of the highest rated segments, he stopped drawing in any audience because he was a one-trick pony.
Speaking of one-trick ponies, hang on. No, that's not it. Hang on, I'll find it. Yeah, here we go. Speaking of one-trick ponies, if you look at H.A. Goodman's videos, it's nothing but about Hillary Clinton's emails and the investigation into her emails. And yeah, he's a one-trick pony too. Yeah.
Could do do was talk about George Soros. I admit that George Soros is a bad
Kind of like HA could talk about nothing but Hillary Clinton.
myself, but that doesn't mean I'm going to turn my channel into the George Soros Hour, where that's all I ever talk about. Well, that's basically what Glenn Beck did. Then he became a never-Trumper, and that, I think, alienated a lot of the former Tea Partiers that really were fans.
Yeah, and HA, he was for Bernie, and then Dr. Jill Stein, he was not going to vote for Hillary, and he wasn't going to vote for Trump.
Of the Blaze. The network that he created had already shrunk anyway. Over time is in decline. You look at their YouTube page. Tell me how many subscribers and how many views they have. Now compare that to some of the individuals, not even part of a network. They don't have a company. They have a webcam. Compare it to some individuals who cover politics or social chatter on YouTube alone, as well as plenty of actually independent sites. There's no comparison. The Blaze is like a total afterthought. They were talking about the Daily Wire absorbing.
Yeah, that's kind of like HA.
Them, and apparently that's not going to happen. So Glenn Beck stuck with basically a worthless company and a few dozen employees. That's what he's got now. Don't feel too sad for him, though. He said years and years ago he was going blind, and he's still apparently able to see. So I guess it was a miracle from the Mormon Jesus on that one.
Hang on. Did he say Jesus? Wait. There's your Jesus. That's a South Park Jesus, Dr. Satan. Yeah, so that's South Park Jesus with Satan. Okay, so let's move forward here. Let's see, wait a minute. I think that was it.
Then at the same time, he made so many millions of dollars just when he was at Fox, but he went into...
Okay, let's go a little forward here. Let's see. Hang on, let's see, let me find this spot. Somewhere around here, I think.
Some fucking stupid issue. No, I am glad because Glenn Beck is part of the Fox spinoff legacy media. It's like Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly has a podcast. Technically, he's making his own independent media. He's still parroting the same neocon nonsense that they drilled into his head anyway at Fox, and that he always believed he's not going to be anything but a neocon. Glenn Beck tried to pass himself off as a libertarian. It was like totally laughable. So I'm a libertarian, but I think that we should rescind equal protection, and no, gay is not okay, so we're going to be moralists, and praise Jesus, and if you don't love Jesus, shame on you.
Hang on. Wait. Let's back up. Wait a minute. I want to hear that again. Hang on.
He always believed he's not going to be anything but a neocon. Glenn Beck tried to pass himself off as a libertarian. It was like totally laughable. So I'm a libertarian, but I think that we should rescind equal protection, and no, gay is not okay, so we're going to be moralists, and praise Jesus.
Wait a minute. Praise Jesus. Did he say Jesus? Hang on. I got to do this. I got to do that. South Park Jesus. South Park Jesus. Praise South Park Jesus.
If you don't love Jesus, shame on you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Be like,
hang on. Yep. Okay, hang on. Let's find this. Where is it? Is it here? No. Hang on. It's here somewhere. Hang on. Ah, there it is. Yeah. He said, if you don't love Jesus. Yeah. Oh. Somebody doesn't love Jesus. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Come on.
Vaguely theocratic. He's not a libertarian. No, I'm sorry. He's on that moralist side of people who think they're libertarian because they like guns. Just call yourself an evangelocon, and they love guns.
Hey, speaking of loving guns, wait. Loving guns. Is it? Yeah. Here we go. HA loves guns. HA loves guns. Yep.
I like guns too, but I actually don't want to abuse my fellow citizens, have some comprehension of the concept of individuality. Glenn Beck doesn't. Glenn Beck's just nutty. And did you ever see, though, the bits of footage where he was making, like, crude passes at women on the program? Like that one where he's like, oh, yeah, how about you come back to my office and we'll do a photo shoot later? And girl there, I don't think she could believe what she was hearing. He's a little bit of a creepy dude. But really, it's about talentlessness. Like when he plunged his...
Yeah, talentlessness. So, yeah. You like to talk about that, Dr. Satan. Here we go. You said talentless, rambling hack. You're kind of like that, too. Okay. And HA Goodman's a talentless,
face into a bowl of Doritos, trying to mimic Donald Trump. He thought this was extremely highbrow comedy. He also thought it was very, very hard-hitting, Jesus-friendly commentary on the political situation.
Wait a minute. Did he say Jesus-friendly? I can't help myself. I gotta go back to South Park Jesus. Yeah.
He was a never-Trumper for an entire fucking year. It's like, no, the Donald Trump might be the Antichrist. This is the end of the United States. And now all of a sudden he has a hard-on for him because he's realized, I alienated millions of people who could have been fans if I had just been more like Matt Drudge. Look at me.
Okay, let's talk about who's flipped the Trump. So let's listen to Glenn Beck and his come to Trump moment.
And they were spinning it as if he was saying that about all immigrants. I'd had enough. I'd have enough. Media, if you can get me, Glenn Beck, to do this, and in case you're only listening to us on radio, I just donned a red Make America Great Again hat. If you...
Okay. Now somebody else had their come to Trump moment. Here he is, HA.
Of doing their jobs. I don't know. It's insane. It's very difficult to wrap my brain around. I'm voting for Trump, by the way, in 2020.
There you go. So they're a lot alike. They've just a month apart. They've had their come to Trump moment. So HA's was on April 20th and Glenn Beck's May 18th, just a month apart. So Dr. Satan is mocking Glenn Beck, but does he mock his buddy? His buddy HA? I don't think so. I don't hear him mocking HA. Okay. So let's go on here. Oops. Let's see what else he has to say.
Matt Drudge. His audience, he starts in the fucking early 90s with his website. He's like the mollusk media, the middle man, missing link media figure. He's exactly that, because he starts his own sort of independent firm. It's a business, but he himself is fully independent. It's Matt Drudge does whatever he wants, the website. Glenn Beck looks over at him and says, wow, he started earlier than me, had a smaller audience than my starting audience, and I had this big slot at Fox and was really famous. And you look at him, he's like 10.
Now, who does this remind you of? So HA used to be mainstream. Yeah, he used to be very mainstream, and he sings Sticks with a bigger channel, and HA decides to build his channel, and he tries to hook up with Hard Bastard. Well, he does. He hooks up with Hard Bastard and Dr. Satan. And yeah, HA is very proud of the fact that he was mainstream. And yes, isn't that interesting? There's a lot of hypocrisy here. Dr. Satan mocks Glenn Beck, but he won't mock HA for doing the exact same thing. Yeah, interesting. Come on.
10 times the size that I am. Fuck, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. Now I've got to go over and pretend that I've seen the light and that I realize Donald Trump is Jesus elect. That's wait a minute.
Wait. He said Jesus. I'm sorry. I got to do this. Anytime he says Jesus, yep, South Park Jesus. South Park Jesus.
Glenn. As for the media in general, the Salon had to downsize. Look, they're all downsizing. The missing link media's actually got it worse than like the true.
Yeah, well, HA used to be with Salon. Yeah, he was publishing Salon, so he's in all this dying media that Dr. Satan is talking about. Yeah, just like Glenn Beck.
Legacy media of cable or old newsprint. At least they've got a legacy that can span back for decades, sometimes over 100 years. You know, the New York Times, the LA Times or something. Some of them have made better transition to the online world than others. Some of them are more socially interactive than others. That's why they want to censor the internet so people like me can interact as well, because they don't want to. They don't want to be bothered. Head of New York Times, he doesn't want to have to answer people's DMs. They're too good for us little alt tech people. And then you look at the missing link media. It's like, well, Salon is dying.
Yeah, well, HA was part of Salon. Yeah, the missing link media. That's HA. And yeah, Dr. Satan is talking about Glenn Beck.
They had to downsize already. The Blaze is dying. This comes from the Daily Beast. It's like, okay, well, you're a partisan network, but yeah, it is true. The Blaze, who uses it anymore? When they first exist, like years and years ago, when the Blaze first formed, I can remember if you looked like, on any big tech firm, you'd see them referenced constantly. Now, it's been a while since anyone linked me something from the Blaze. Honestly, it's the same as like Salon. Even in the last year, they've fallen on some very hard times. They seem to have fallen large.
Well, HA was with Salon, don't forget. Being a little hypocritical.
Largely out of favor with people that were parroting them over and over. BuzzFeed and Vox are the ones that are, I guess, surviving as far as the missing link media goes. And then Breitbart on the other side. They're doing better than the Blaze. They've got their own fucking problems. At least they've got Steve Bannon back. Glenn Beck, the problem with him is that he boils everything down to his extremely narrow set of talents, which is essentially rambling about religion and rambling about conspiracy Soros sort of stuff.
Okay, rambling about religion and conspiracy Soros stuff. So that sounds a lot like HA, I think. Hang on. So HA's, yeah, so HA, he just rambles on about Hillary Clinton's emails and the FBI investigation. So aren't you being a little hypocritical there, Dr. Satan?
That's all well and good because sometimes George Soros does really underhanded stuff, but that one subject isn't enough to build an entire news site, even if it does only have a few dozen employees. They had millions and millions in income, and now all of a sudden...
Well, this reminds me, HA had his own website. It was Counterpropa, and it's gone. It's been gone for a while, and haven't heard anything about that. And Caitlin Johnstone started there, and Zach Haller started there. But it's crickets about that from HA and everybody around him.
They're risking non-existence. It really is like, so I guess Salon and the Blaze will be the first casualties from the missing link media. Who follows then? Well, people who are regulars there will gravitate to other firms, and they'll help buoy them up. This is what's happening in cable media. You got to understand something. When Fox or MSNBC, they say, well, our ratings rose. That's because a third of CNN's audience abandoned.
Okay, I think I've heard enough from you, Dr. Satan. Anyway, I want to hear a little bit more from Mr. Beck. Yeah, let's just listen to a little bit of what he has to say. Let's see. So, he made his announcement here.
You can drive me to the point to where I say, you know what, I've had enough. I'll vote for him in 2020. Gladly, I'll vote for him in 2020. And not really even on his record, which we'll talk about here in a second, is pretty damn amazing.
So that's kind of like HA's switch to Trump. His switch to Trump was just over the Democrats deciding to sue the Russian government and WikiLeaks.
You can get a person who is, quote unquote, more rational, a Democrat who is a regime change advocate, who will
Yeah, I gotta go back to this again. Talentless, rambling hack. Yeah, that's HA too. Talentless, rambling hack. Always on camera, nothing
Then
else.
go ahead and not address the Voting Rights Amendment Act of 2015 from John Conyers. Very important legislation for African American voters and for voters.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward here. There's a little bit at the end I want to hear from Mr. Beck. Let's see here a little bit. A little bit at the end here. Okay.
Bad things. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. So that is today. And I know I ask forgiveness on from Donald Trump on this. Please forgive me, Mr. Trump, for predicting that you will sweep in 2020. Because
Sweep in 2020. Speaking of sweep, let me find this. So HA said something similar here. Hang on. Yeah. That's around. Let's see, go back. It's around here.
Trump in 2020. You should too.
Okay, wait a minute.
The Democratic National Committee utilizes. So the same groups that'll call everything racist or pretend to be anti-war or just hate Israel with a passion are also the same groups that will call you a Nazi sympathizer. I mean, think about this for a second. You're a sympathizer, you're an appeaser. You're any type of euphemism if you disagree with people who will eventually vote Democratic Party. A lot of the Democrats, what they want to do is they want to bully even their own voters after cheating their own voters. They cheated Bernie Sanders. There's still a lawsuit from Jared Beck.
No, HA, they did not cheat Bernie Sanders. He keeps getting that wrong. They cheated Bernie Sanders' supporters. Yeah.
Nico House, and from Jared and Elizabeth Beck and Nico House against the DNC for the $200 million they stole. They stole $200 million from. And Julian Assange is basically suffering in isolation, solitary confinement. And it doesn't matter about policy now. I'm voting for Donald Trump, for President Trump.
It doesn't matter about policy now. That's very interesting. And Glenn Beck said something similar.
Trump in 2020. And you should too. I want Republicans to sweep Congress. And you should want Republicans to sweep Congress as well. The Senate, they already have. The House is...
Oh. I think Glenn Beck said something about this. Hang on.
Every time I ever am for a candidate, they always lose. So I won't endorse you because that's the kiss of death. But I will tell you, the things that you have done as the president are remarkable. Remarkable. I yesterday, because of the New York Times and Associated Press, I yesterday went and looked at your campaign promises. And then I looked at what you've done. I'm going to do that on the radio here in just a second. It's remarkable. And in fact, just Israel alone may be the ballsiest and best thing I have ever seen any president do in my lifetime.
Now, HA has a similar view about Israel. So this is all about Trump recognizing Jerusalem as the capital, official capital of Israel. So Glenn Beck and HA are the same there. They have the same view. And yet Dr. Satan's very hypocritical, judging Glenn Beck and then not judging HA by the same standard. Let's go back to HA. He's got some more interesting stuff here, I think. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, he talked about regime change. That's interesting. So according to HA, I just got to go over this. HA says that the Democrats are for regime change, but Trump isn't. Interesting. Okay, let's see. I think he may be, I'm not sure if he said any more here.
This is a toss-up, and I think the Republicans will win in the House. You're already, basically, Andrew McCabe's going to get indicted because he lied under oath, the number 2 at the FBI.
Yeah, okay. That's a one-trick pony. He's obsessed with Hillary Clinton's email and the FBI. And let's see, there's something else he said here later on. That was interesting. Hang on.
They're not rational. You're expecting a rational response from people. You're like, well, if there's a Democrat, they won't be emboldened. Yeah, they're going to be emboldened no matter what. Okay, and tell me, I keep saying, tell me again what Democrats have done for their voters. Tell me again what the Democratic Party has done to stop Trump. Tell me again what the Democratic Party has done to its most passionate progressive base. I used to be a progressive, I'm no longer. Now I'm just independent, I'm just an American citizen.
Now, wait a minute. He's saying he used to be progressive, and now he's independent. Now, progressive is an ideology, am I not wrong? And then independent would be how a person votes. So I think he's a little bit confused there. Perhaps I'm wrong, but that's just how I see it.
But the issue with voting for Trump, I think it's imperative. I think it's not like, I'm not going to adopt the Make America Great Again slogan because I think...
Oh, that's too bad. I really wish he would put on one of those hats like Glenn Beck did. Yeah. They're nice looking hats.
I don't really... It's like that's, a propaganda ploy. Just the same, Democrats do the same thing. But I will go ahead and say it is if you care about the future of the country, this is the future of the country that's at stake. And you can't simply sue a publisher like WikiLeaks.
Yeah, there's another thing that sticks in this video. It's probably later on he was kind of mocking Glenn Beck and saying, well, maybe he'll set up a Patreon page. But that's exactly what HA did. So HA went from mainstream media, just like Glenn Beck, and HA's, begging for donations, just like Glenn Beck. So anyway, let's go back. HA, there's something else he was saying that was interesting in this video. Hang on. Let's see. What was that? Somewhere around here, I think.
Well, yes, you want to talk about hate speech. Campaign contribution from prison lobbyists, I'd say, is hate speech. Democrats sue Russia, WikiLeaks campaign. God. History books. What else? Baby steals, puppies, panda bears, everything good in life, because they're such sore, corrupt, sad, pathetic, angry, judgmental fools. If you vote Democrat in 2020, this is just my humble opinion. If a person, not you, if a person votes Democrat in 2020, that person has to be, I was going to say a brainwashed, pathetic fool, but that's not true.
Brainwashed, pathetic fool. I love that coming from HA. Or his followers now.
Not true. There are a lot of intelligent people who are going to vote Democrat, and what they're going to do is going to say, "Well, Trump is crazy." And then they're going to point to something. And the only thing they can say is, the Trump Jr. meeting. He worked with Russia, or Charlottesville, or there was Terry McAuliffe. Very almost certainly, can't say with certainty, almost certainly told police to stand down to ensure that there was this propaganda photo op of two sides clashing, and the Democrats could then say, well, you know what, we're on the side of right. And they knew Trump would have this ridiculous response, because when Trump gets frazzled, it was not a good response initially, but he obviously stated, here's what I mean. I'm 100% against the crazy racist, but a woman died, Heather Heyer. Why aren't Democrats bringing up the woman who died? Why? Because it's an inconvenient reality to what they helped create. Why aren't they bringing up Nazi rallies or all these extremist groups on the right anymore? They're not, because that propaganda cycle is gone. Why aren't they championing Antifa? Because they utilized Antifa for the moment. The Democratic Party is full of the most overt, transparent, slimy, reptilian, diabolical political operatives. You can say the Republicans, if you say, well, HA, you're furthering Republican policies you don't agree with. I don't want a wall, but you know what? Democrats want a fence. Democrats deport more people. Democrats do nothing in terms of legislation. So the political party needs to be peacefully and politically obliterated. The Democratic Party is an evil political party. The Republicans fall into some good policies. They're anti-regime change. We could say, well,
What?
Trump.
Hang on. The Republicans are anti-regime change? So he's seeing a difference between the Democrats and Republicans. And he claims, and a lot of people like him claim, that Trump and the Republicans aren't as hawkish as the Democrats. Yep.
In Syria, you see, are we actively trying to oust Assad
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, HA.
At this moment, in the way that Clinton would?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, HA.
That would have been her biggest policy goal, and we would have been stuck there. We're not occupying Syria.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. There are 11 U.S. bases in Syria, illegal bases. Yes, we are.
We would have been occupying Syria, just like we were occupying Iraq and Afghanistan. A Clinton presidency would have been catastrophic, not just for that reason.
I can't really tell the difference, tell you the truth, between the Trump presidency and what we would have had under Hillary Clinton.
But do you want James Comey forever as FBI director? Do you want Andrew McCabe forever? You want people like John Brennan and James Clapper forever? You want Debbie Wasserman?
Oh, well, I think that's enough. I think we've heard enough. So that's my compilation video that was suggested to me. And so Dr. Satan is very critical of Glenn Beck's flip to Trump. But it's very hypocritical. Yeah, it's very hypocritical, because HA has done the same thing. HA has done the same thing. So there is no difference. Everybody's jumping on the Trump train. Everybody. So, yeah. So I just want to see South Park Jesus again, because it's funny. And I want to see... Yeah, there's HA. And there, one more look. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Dr. Evil. So vote in the comments. Who does it better, Dr. Evil or HA Goodman? And who does it better, Dr. Evil or South Park Jesus? Okay, that's my video for this evening. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.